Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roger Williams episode 30. We are finally revealing the long awaited Babirusa episode with my lovely girlfriend, Julie.
Hello.
I love you so very much.
Are you ready?
Almost as much as you hate Babirusa.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, so for those who aren't aware what a Babirusa is, it is located in Asia, and it is sometimes called a deer pig, and it's basically a pig species that lives, I believe, in Southeast Asia. And its defining characteristic is it has tusks that grow out of its forehead and sometimes into their skull. And that is why you hate them? Why do you hate Babirusa so much?
Because without human interventions, they just die. They just kill themselves because it's not even if. Their tusks grow curved into their skull, into their brain. They die. They will die. Any species that is built like that, why? Why does it exist?
Well,
it exists to hurt itself?
Well, in defense of them, they don't always kill themselves, because nature has planned that under normal circumstances, they die before then.
Okay, but they don't have to be like this. What kind of evolutionary mess up said, hey, you know what? We want our horns to grow out and just into our skulls.
I don't know.
Who decided this?
I don't know what evolutionary benefit it has.
It has none.
I'm assuming it was just an evolved trait from.
Like, you could say it might be like a defense purpose, but what are you defending against yourself?
Well, so that's another fun fact is they don't fight with their tusks at all.
Okay, well then
they kickbox. They get up on their hind legs and start punching each other. I'm not kidding. This is actually how they fight. They get up and they start punching each other and like headbutting each other and stuff, but they'll never actually use their tusks because they're really brittle. So they're actually super brittle, and that's why under normal circumstances they're supposed to just break off or like get worn down over time. But
if they're not being used, how are they going to be worn down over time?
Well, so that's the thing is,
like, usually, if they were fighting, then obviously they'd be used. But if they just
if they don't, then they get really big and then go inside of their skull. Now, I could be wrong about this. I'm not entirely positive about this, but I believe there's only been one documented case of them killing themselves from this. Because usually around though I have heard. There are definitely circumstances where some pigs, like, it starts out as, like, a headache and stuff when they're about to go into their skull, and, like, the headache gets so, like, it basically is, like, a really bad constant migraine, naturally, so they'll, like, sometimes, like, kind of go crazy because they're trying to, like, break their tusks because they want they're basically banging their heads against, like, trees and stuff because they want the pain to stop.
But then why don't they have, like cats and dogs, and it's a little different, but, like, with their paws, they have claws that they file down themselves to dull them down, but then also like to sharpen them if they want to. But like if they get too long, they're not useful. So they have the evolutionary need to file them down.
Well, and so that is.
So wait, they just wait until they're about to die?
Well, they will file them down naturally normally. And when they're in captivity, like in Roger Williams, usually the keepers will file them down naturally.
Human intervention.
Which, as a aside, and why I personally hate Roger Williams Babirusas, ours are very tiny and pathetic looking. Compared to like other Babirusa I've seen at like the Bronx Zoo or something, ours are just like the tiniest little like piglet looking things with like these tiny little like tusks and stuff that are super thin and brittle. Our Babirusa are pretty old. They've been there about I don't want to, as long as I can remember. So I'm, 22, so I'd guess around 20 years.
Then why are they so tiny?
We might have gotten new ones. That's the other thing, is I'm not totally sure.
Who knows?
Because I will say that this habitat in general, which I should talk about the habitat, because as you guys can see, I'm, much like last episode, I'm taking a lot of creative liberties with the actual habitat. This was recorded on my YouTube on a live stream, and I had a lot of like feedback and stuff during the live stream about you know, how I should actually go about doing this habitat and stuff. And while I tried to get it as accurate as possible, I had to take a lot of liberties and like kind of shrink the habitat significantly to accommodate for the fact that, you know, we're kind of pushed right up against the seal habitat in the barnyard, so I didn't have a lot of room. But I definitely think I got a very, very good looking habitat out of what it is. You can see me, I'm bouncing between like the actual, like, you know, reference photos and stuff to accommodate that. But yeah, I mean, the actual habitat is kind of buried in the back. When I was younger, my mom didn't even know about this like back area of the zoo. We knew about World of Adaptations, or I guess back then it was the Australasia building, because they had the tree kangaroo and stuff. But this whole back area, we just kind of usually ignored.
Well, now with Corona, that's the circuit.
So yeah, because now you can't.
They forced the circuit.
Exactly. So now they're kind of forcing you to go and see the Babirusa and stuff. Even though, I mean, right now it's wintertime, they're not really out. We can sometimes see them in like that little closed off area that I have in the back, like by the building. They'll sometimes be in that holding area. But usually, like, it's just too cold right now, at least this time of year, to have, you know, Babirusa and Binturong and stuff out. But you can't get into World of Adaptations at all right now, so literally to go and see any of the animals, like the river otters or anything, you basically, you know, come out of Face of the Rainforest, walk past the Education Center, and then they go, oh, this way to exhibits, and then you see the Babirusa, Binturong if they're out, the river otters, wallabies are never out. And then you just go straight. They opened up the gate between what used to be like the exit of World of Adaptations and like next to the gibbon. They just opened up that entrance so that you go straight on and then see the gibbons and stuff. But yeah, I don't. So are there any other reasons that you hate Babirusa besides
they're ugly?
They're ugly. I mean, I'll agree with you. They are very ugly, and the people who will see the mod at the end. I had a lot of people saying, "Oh my god, I love the mod. It looks so good and stuff." I think it's again one of the ugliest mods I've ever made.
Well, I mean, you can't help it when that's just what they look like.
Because they are very gross looking. They are gross looking pigs. They're very wrinkled and they have kind of like long. Like, they have super long snouts.
They definitely be the kind of thing that like aren't even cute when they're babies either.
Yeah, have I seen a? I must have seen a baby Babirusa. I think they just look like piglets when they're like small, but like they grow up to be these like grotesque like mutant pigs with like crazy long snouts and stuff, and they're like bald. Because I think that's the other weird thing is for them being such a big pig, like a like kind of like a boar, or like a really large warthog or anything. They're just like bald, which is really weird, and so they're like grossly like wrinkled with like this elephant skin and stuff, and yeah, they're just a mess. What I should mention here is what I'm working on is the staircase, and this is a circumstance where no other creator. Oh, actually, okay, Julie just pulled up a picture of a baby Babirusa. It basically does look like a baby warthog. It's not that bad looking, I'll be honest. So yeah, it looks kind of cute when it's. You don't like it?
Yeah, look at its wrinkly skin.
I mean, it's a baby. I mean, that's a lot of baby animals and stuff.
Nope. Not cute. Ugly.
But what I'm
doing off the island.
What I'm doing here though is I'm working on the kind of like this is a secondary viewing area. This area used to be a way to basically walk down these staircases, and then you were able to go into those like prairie dog peepholes that I was talking about on the left side. Over the years, they've kind of just boarded that area up. So this is just kind of like a glorified viewing area of the Babirusa if you want. It's not a very good one. I highly recommend if you were to come to the zoo, just stick to the, you know, upper viewing area. It's way better. But I just decided to make it. And as a thing that probably is just going to lag my game and wasn't really necessary, but I thought I'd do it, I added the yellow tape for like the warning along each individual staircase step. Which definitely is not something that I would recommend normally for most games, but Roger Williams is already like a mess with lag and stuff, so who cares? At this point, we might as well just like go crazy and make it as accurate as possible. So the last thing I did was, this was actually as part of the end of my stream, but essentially what I did was I took some of Drax's birds that I could finally make the kookaburra and tawny owl habitat, and just kind of threw those in at the end. So that's very much. I mean, like that basically takes us to the end. The last few bits that I'll probably like edit in at the end of this is technically I did kind of modify the trail leading up to it a little bit. I basically used the Australasia sign and stuff again. The people who were watching my live streams for when I started the barnyard and stuff, that they've seen that little thing. So I'll debatably include it or not. If not, I'll just kind of show off what it is right here. But past that, I think we can finally reveal the Babirusa mod, which by the time you guys watch this will probably be available on Nexus, so you can download that yourself.
Just get to look at it in all its ugly glory.
It is ugly. It's a very ugly pig. I had to use the warthog, and it shows because it's not the greatest. But
I'm sure they'll love it.
I mean, I'm sure the people in the game will. Everyone wants the Babirusa anyway because of the Southeast Asia pack, which is likely the next one to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Once again, I want to thank you. I love you very much.
Love you too. Thank you.
And thank you for finally doing this episode. And next episode, we will start on the barnyard, which is also very exciting. So thank you, everyone, and I will see you in the next video.